And welcome to the Manchester United agenda. I'm exactly where I want to be, which is in a Mr. B and Andy Tate sandwich. Yes. Good evening and welcome to the Manchester United agenda. I'm extremely thrilled to be joined by my BBF, Mr. B, and celebrity footballer, just a celebrity in general. It's Andy Tate.
Thank you. And I love the way Mr. B's now sulphur in it. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Love it.
All right, so we're going to say hello to a few people and then we'll get stuck into it. Always a bit of a downer when the X turns up, but it's Solo here saying pick up everyone. We got Stephanie in the house saying hello to Solo. And we've got Yale saying, "Oh, Hannibal is a permanent move to Sevilla." Hale will be speaking about this later. I believe that Andy and Mr. B are unhappy about this. We've got DK Wilson straight out of Anchorage, Alaska, saying that he's I don't know what that's about.
Don't worry. They want
I know that's another channel. That's another channel. I caught the end of it. Rants and Bants. That's another channel.
Right. Okay. Well, I hope that everyone enjoyed watching that. The loan move looks to be a permanent move. We'll get onto this, Yale. But we've got Matthew Bassett, the king of the kebabs, saying good evening all. Got Andrew Williams saying, "Do you feel lucky, punk?" Well, do you? Something to do with what film is that? It's Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry.
Speaking of Dirty Harrys, look at this late comer. Make my day. Turn up on time.
You know what, BATHTIME? You thought I shot 6 bullets, didn't you?
Yeah.
A man can work out all day and still breeze into this 5 minutes late, so leave OMONDI be.
It's a late man run into the box. And DK Wilson is saying, hello, Andy Tate. And we got Shopping Solutions saying hello. Bilal is saying something that that I'm not going to read.
Who? Which one? Who's he talking about? I want to know who he's. Oh, he must. Let's open.
The next message is describing what the previous message is. So there's the clue, and this is the answer. Without giving too much away.
Okay, he's just seen that Jadon Sancho has reactivated his Instagram account ahead of his move to Dortmund.
Really? So I'll be sending a personal nasty message. I might do it live on air now. Mr. Sancho.
Disgrace.
Be careful, you might get the Peckham boys on you.
Ooh, what? They'll buy fucking Rodney. Bring it on. Uncle Albert. Join them. What?
And Bart is here. Evenings all. Great to see Meet 8 too. Hannibal may be sold as he's young and United need to abide by FFP. Bullshit. And it's the rebel. Sancho, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Take some more of the crybabies with you. To finish up, we got Banter FC saying big up. We got Suze82 saying hello. And we've got Bilal saying something that I can read, which is Sancho. So here we all are. Now, I've got an action-packed show for you all tonight, which means that there isn't much news. So this is what we've got in our show. Start off, we've got OMONDI's Lord of the Rings review. We've got Hannibal. We've got a fan favourite is running free. Ineos In. Sancho stuff. A Man United player is getting benched and the gloves are on. So this is the teaser for the show tonight. So I guess, OMONDI, we should start off with your Lord of the Rings review.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so obviously we had it's been going over a year now, isn't it? You've told me to watch Lord of the Rings. I told you to watch The Wanderers, which was a good film. You enjoyed it. And then the deal was I was going to watch Lord of the Rings, but I saw how long it was, and I still haven't got around to it. So,
I told you. Yeah. I told you. I told you.
But I will say this. You told me to watch a fight scene yesterday from Lord of the Rings. Epic fight scene, built it up really well. And I did watch it, but only 5 minutes. It was only a 5-minute clip. Now Gandalf was in it. I think it's Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee, isn't it? Christopher Lee.
Yeah, he's Saruman.
I've got a few issues with that fight scene. One, they were stuck in a castle and they were beating down the door from outside, all these sort of monsters. And they decided on horseback to say, when the door got bust open, the few guys inside on horseback ran through this crowd of monsters on horses and was occasionally slicing at a few and killing a few through their armor, which is really good. And not one of them got licked down by this crowd of monsters in front of them. And then they looked up in the hills and saw a guy on a white horse and in all white, and it was Gandalf, I think his name is. And then they start charging down and encounters. So it's like big warfare to counter these monsters. And these monsters had these big poles, and they were on horseback as well. And not one of these horses did I see get taken down. And I'm just thinking, come on, man, make it realistic. Make it realistic. Great CGI for about 2000.
Make Lord of the Rings realistic. Is this what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
To be fair to Armando, I don't give a toss about Lord of the Rings either, so I've never watched it. It's a bath time. Have you stepped on something, bath time? Yeah. So I'm in your Armando's group, so
don't make me make those noises, Andy. All right. Well,
but you said it was an epic fight scene. It was a good fight scene. But I think there are other fight scenes in movies, especially the Wanderers fight scene at the end. That was better.
I'll have Rocky IV and Drago anytime over that.
Endgame, and best fight scene of all time is Superman 2, Superman against Ursa, Narn, and General Zod in Metropolis.
I'll tell you the best fight scene
Neil
ever.
Before Sod. Sod,
Bridget Jones's Diary. That has the best fight scene ever because it's the most Bridget Jones's Diary. It's the most realistic fight you will ever see. It's two 40-year-old men running around in a circle trying to kick each other for 15 minutes.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah. And Colin Firth. All right. Well, let's get on with the show. So, the first story is Hannibal to conquer Spain. So this is coming from David Ornstein, who is like who seems to be one of the most sort of reputable journalists, and he is saying that Sevilla are advancing towards an agreement to sign Mabry on loan from Manchester United. Everton are still keen, but as things stand, Sevilla's offer is favoured by United and Hannibal. Now, the deal would include a high buy option. So if Sevilla want to buy him, it's going to cost money, and it would have a buyback clause. So we would essentially get first refusal at a named price to get him back in the future. So, Andy, you don't look happy. Talk to me.
Oh, yes. So another midfielder, another option goes down the pan, and a certain Scotch egg he survives again to live another manager. So we're selling all our best potential youngsters while these senior players are skinning a living and surviving by doing nothing. I'm not happy about it, man. Because like I say, I've seen more from Scott McTominay. I've seen more from Hannibal this season than I did Scott McTominay. You know what? I saw him score a goal against Brighton, and he'd done more running in 3.5 minutes than Scott McTominay did in 45. And he scored, and he ran back, and he wanted to get involved. Scott McTominay just like looked at him, just then turned away, and he's just like, you know what, lad? You are on borrowed time, Scott McTominay, man. You should have been out the door in the summer. And I'm really disappointed United are using this. It's like when we sold that lad last summer to Everton.
Ghana,
yeah. We're just like this just remind. This is like the Glazers like are trying to before Ineos. Ineos have no say on this. This is this is the regime at the moment trying to squeeze ounce before Ineos come in. Because if Ineos would have been in before Christmas, Hannibal won't be going. And that's the truth. I am sick of these senior players surviving while we are letting talented youngsters go out the door. Oh, I tell you what, if Hannibal does it well in about 4 or 5 years, oh yeah, he'll go to Real Madrid or he'll go to Barcelona. Or you can have him back Man United, but you got to pay 60, 70 million. You know what I mean? This is just going to go the same way. And I'm pissed off with it. You're letting a promising talent go. And it's just senior players are surviving again. I tell you what, while you're at it, why don't you just fucking loan out Garnacho? Do that. Loan him out to Real Madrid. That's a fucking clever move. Why you do that? Do that. See how the fucking fan base reacts to that. Oh, all right.
Monday.
Yeah, send out Mainu as well on loan. That'll really fucking get him on side. That won't it? Just fucking stupid. There's no logic to it.
I think overload. I think I want him on loan, sent out on loan. I don't want him to be sold. I think he's a good prospect for the future. I agree with it. The only issue I think at the moment is game time. He's at the age now where he needs to be playing week in, week out, and to show what he's really got. And I think he will show that in the Liga. It's a great move for him. But we're out of the League Cup. We're out of Europe. We've only got the FA Cup and the League to play for. And I think, as we've shown the other day at Wigan, we're going to be playing our strongest team. There's not enough room in the inn right now to be playing second-string players or giving people an opportunity. The manager's under pressure. We've got a lot to play for. We've got a lot of catching up to do. And the big players, the first-team players, will be getting the first name in the team sheet. So, unfortunately for Hannibal and maybe some other players on the fringe, they might be going out on loan very soon. And so I think this is the start of it. But I really wish Hannibal well. Really great hunger in his belly. He's a lion of a player. And I think he's got a lot of talent as well, which we haven't really seen. We've always talking about his energy and his aggression. I think the talent will be shown more in Spain. I think it's a great move for him. And hopefully he'll come back, just like with Greenwood, and perform over there and make us lick our lips about the prospect of these guys coming back into the team.
Okay, just before we get to your views, Mr. B, I just wanted to see what the comments are saying. Andrew's very disappointed about this sale. We should make it clear it's not. It doesn't appear to be an obligation to buy, so it's not necessarily a sale. Bart is saying that he's not trolling and that he's a very serious man. No one is bigger than the club. Sending them would show the message. I can't read.
We'll just move on. You're a wind-up merchant, boy.
DK Wilson, he agrees with Andy. Another block by Scott. Pity he can't do it on the pitch. Oh, okay. I was always a big fan of Mengi. Not sure why we sold him. I like Hannibal in terms of effort. He's not world-class, but he has the hunger that we need. Bilal is saying 300 million in 2 years we'll get him back for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Agreed. Ineos are not in yet. This is trying to preempt it. But Shopping Solutions, good evening to you, is saying, how do you know, Andy, that Ineos has not approved the deal? Do you have inside information?
No, I'm thinking this is Glazonomics until that deal is approved by the Premier League. When Sir Jim is only on the outside, this is still Man United Glazonomics until January 31st. And that's my gut feeling.
We've seen them like next to Ferguson. We've seen Beresford on the television and Jim in the crowd. Is that not just a ceremonial?
Just because you're at the dinner table doesn't mean you're allowed to touch the desserts yet. You know what I mean? You can look, but you can't touch. You can't take them like chocolate eclairs and gorge on him. No. Ineos are only on the outside looking in at the toy shop. Oh, I'll have that Millennium Falcon. No. We are going to sell it. And you can whistle Dixie. So this is what it is. They're not at the table yet. They're just looking in.
Okay. Well, Sim, who I haven't seen before, so good they named him twice, is saying keep all the shit and let the potential go. Well done, United.
Two Jaguar E-types there. He's next to two Jags. Well, that's good. That.
Was it who was the fat politician that had two Jags?
The Labour guy.
You know, Prescott.
The one who was throwing the Prescott, the one who was throwing the
the one who wanted the fight. Yeah.
And we've got We Deserve Better saying he's not bothered about Hannibal going, but he enjoyed the sun today. Mr. B, talk to me about Hannibal. Where do you stand on this?
I am so pissed off. I'll be honest. I'm not happy, man. Cock blocker, Scott McTominay at it again. He's just in there. I don't get it. I just don't get it. He's just done in man's dance out here. Hannibal has impressed when he's played. I think, as Monday said, I think he's better than Scott McTominay. He ran one of the games he played. He ran more than any Man United player in the last 4 years or 5 years or some ridiculous stat like that.
That was Brighton.
And then you don't see him again. It's a loan, but then if Sevilla come in and say they want to take him for 15 million, 20 million, then what is our buyback? What, 20 million? The same money that we spent? No, it's going to be more than that. So I'm not happy he's going, to be fair. I understand Monday said we're out of the Champions League. But let's be honest, that wasn't Hannibal's fault. They didn't play him. The players who should be going should be Onana, because he got us knocked out of the Champions League. You understand? These are the players who played in the games and we didn't go through. Those are the ones who should be going out on loan, not the ones who are hungry and have got the hunger in their belly. I'm not disputing that Scott, who this is just has got hunger in his belly. I just don't think he's got the football ability. So I'm not happy with the move. I'm hoping he goes out there, smashes it, but not enough that Sevilla want him. But then what will happen? Why didn't they loan him to a Premier League club? Isn't he going to be playing in the Premier League? I don't understand why they didn't try and loan him to a Premier League club if that was the case.
The best thing he can do, if he smashes it over there, then Man United realise what a mess they've made and they'll pull the plug on the deal. You know, and if any deal is offered by Sevilla, sorry about that computer cut. Yeah, if Sevilla offer anything, then United can just no. He looks fantastic. We're bringing him back.
Yeah, but are they going to play him? But they'll bring him back. But they'll just have him sit.
Ineos will be in charge. If Ineos see what he can do, and he has a good 5-6 months. Help Sevilla get into the Champions League or something, or in the Europa League. So I don't know if the Sevilla win the Europa League again and he's part of it, and they have a good La Liga end of the season. Ineos say, who authorised this deal? Who authorised it for this kid to go out? It was me, Ten Hag. And yeah, all right, mate, we need to think again. So you know, what I mean,
to be fair about the Everton thing. We sent a player on loan to Everton last year or 2 years ago, Donny van der Beek. He didn't get played, did he?
Couldn't get played my Saturday side.
All right, but when you're sending a player out on loan, normally you're hoping that they develop in certain areas. So Hannibal, we know that he's a good runner. We know he's a good physical athlete. These things don't need to really be improved upon. Maybe what he needs to improve upon are the things we can't see, like the technical side of the game and the more tactical side of the game, and that Sevilla is a better place for him to develop these things rather than Everton. I would hope that there's a plan to send Hannibal to the place that is going to be the best for him. You got a request, Andy, to do your Ten Hag impression.
Who authorised this? It is I, Ten Hag.
And we've also got Sim saying that these are two Jag E-types from Hulme. Can you believe it? Born facing the Mancunian pub. I assume he means himself and not the car.
You don't get many Jag E-types in Manchester, man.
Let alone two.
Yeah.
Right, Yali is saying there was talk about a trade deal. Scott for Onana being Amadou Onana, the Everton midfielder, with Hannibal going on loan to Everton. Don't think that is a thing anymore. And like UK Strains is echoing a lot of the comments here, saying that Hannibal's not going to be a first team player anytime soon. So I think it's good that he's moving on.
So I understand he's not going to be, but I think that's more down to the manager. I don't think it's got anything to do with Hannibal as a footballer. unless there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes that obviously we're not going to know about. But I can't believe on sheer football ability that he's being sent out on loan. It just makes no sense.
Say something the other day, and I seen, was it BATHTIME mentioned it? I watched you guys on Monday night from behind the scenes. Player power, we've chatted to players. Players were guaranteed to play ahead of youngsters, so certain players were guaranteed. That's why Donny left. You know what I mean? Certain players. I read that somewhere. It was on. I'm sure you talked about it. Because Ten Hag said something on Sunday about Donny leaving, and certain players got guarantees ahead of other players. They were playing positions, and that's been out there, I think, since Sunday.
Didn't Cavani say that?
No, I think Ten Hag said this because this was all over social media. I've seen this on another TV channel. We all know who it is, but it was out there. I think, was it Monday night? And I seen it. Totally disgusted by it because I've seen a few channels talking about it.
Guy, he's going to get himself the sack, man.
I can't see that's true. He
said something about Donny van de Beek and certain players getting guarantees of other players about game time. It's been out there since Sunday night, Monday morning, and I'm sure you talked about it as well. But it was on another channel and it's been doing the rounds.
Well, maybe, but I mean, I'll tell you why I'm all right with this Hannibal deal is that when you look at Garnacho, who I think should be our starting winger at the moment, that boy could have done with a loan in his career, like just to sort of like develop a bit of consistency and stuff. But we're not in a position to loan him. Mainu, I would like to have seen got a loan at a lower league team to deal with sort of more physical things. But that boy has to play in our team at the moment. Right, Hannibal doesn't have to play in the team at the moment. We've got Casemiro, we've got Mount coming back, we've got Bruno, we've got McTominay, we've got Eriksen. We're well stocked there. Hannibal, we can afford to get a loan because we're not going to win anything we're not competing on loads of fronts this season. Ten Hag's under pressure, so he's always going to play the players that he trusts. As long as Hannibal comes back and he develops, I think that this is a good move.
And just to add to that as well, I think it's important when you do send someone on loan, there must be an agreement that you say to the manager how much game time is going to get. You get a lot of managers recalling players because they're not getting enough games. I think this is a great move, good timing as well. He's at an age now where he's ready to show European football what he's all about. And I just think a lesser club than Seville, I would have more confidence they would get the game time. I can't see him starting every game. He's going to have to do something dramatic in his opening few games for him to be a regular starter out there. And there's only 18 league games left in Spain. And then you got cups and whatever else he's involved in. I just want to see him play. And hopefully all you guys in the comments and us on the panel will be following him like we do follow all the other guys on loan at the moment. Like Greenwood, I've been watching him. And I'll be watching Sancho as well, just to gauge how...
I'm not watching Sancho. I'm not. Do you know what? He can go. I'm not. No. Do you know what? I'm not watching him. No. I'm not. I'm not watching Sancho. He's totally disrespected us. Are you mad, bruv? Are you taking the piss out of me?
Now, boys. Your best friend.
There's no chance. There's no chance. There's no chance.
This is why they don't get along.
He's done for me. He's done. There's no chance.
Guys, I'm watching him to see his attitude, see how he plays. I want to see what we missing.
Why? So what do you mean what we're missing? We know what we were missing. He was playing like a genius when he was at Dortmund before he came to us. Yeah. He came to us, decided that he wanted to sit down on the money and scored 12 goals in 78 games and was probably late to training 3/4 of that time. So what does he have to show us? Nothing. I want him to go out there, smash it, score loads of goals so somebody comes in and says, yeah, because I want somebody to come in and take him off our hands for proper money, not the 25 million that we're going to get. I don't want him to come back. He's taking the mickey. Oh, he doesn't want to play for Ten Hag. Ten Hag don't pay his wages.
If he smashes it between now and the end of the season, you can easily get 50 million for him. Easily get 50 million and move him on. Because let's say I don't want him back at United. If this is the attitude he has, because he had this at Man City, as many a City fan I've spoken to, oh yeah, even Pep said He had the attitude. He had that little swagger. Modern day football, I've made it. You've not done anything, lad. You've done it a little bit. You've done it about 2.5 years in the Bundesliga. Now you're going to do it again. Now here's the key. If he does it again and he turns it on, then he comes back, goes to another club, he'll switch off again.
Sorry, seems to be the hardest words, doesn't it? And I think
all about focus and mentality. If he turns it on again and he switches off when he comes back, no.
Yeah. But all right, let's gauge this. At the end of the season, we'll be asking a couple of questions. Greenwood, Sancho, do we want them back? And this is why I want to watch their performances to see whether they've earned the right to get back into the side.
He's got you there, to be fair. That's a really good
point. What? The only way if he does this now, if he helps Dortmund, tears it up and they win the Champions League.
Oh, gosh, that's steep.
That's the only way he saves his United career. He helps, but he just tears it up in the Bundesliga and the Champions League and leads them to and takes them to a Champions League.
So you're talking like Ten Hag's not going to be here because there's no way Sancho can come back into the Man United squad and Ten Hag is manager.
Even if he says sorry,
you can't compete against that.
What? So when's he saying sorry on Monday? Are you sorry when? Sorry when?
You can still apologize a year later. Sorry, happened a year ago.
I don't want him back because if he survives, if Ten Hag is gone and he comes back and he starts turning it on, then he's cheated us. He's cheated himself and he's cheated everybody out of a year of his career by being a spoiled little brat where everybody was so sympathetic to his plight the following season. 3 months out, focused training on his own in Holland with personal trainers. He was given the arm around the shoulder. You know what I mean? He was looked after, you know what I mean, by the Man United fans. And he came back, he got a rousing reception. And he's just done this again.
I recall Rio Ferdinand missing a drugs test. And we lost the league that season. I think Arsenal pipped us to the title because he was out for 8 months for some foolishness, going shopping in Manchester City Centre with another player or something and missing a drugs test. When you look at the details of that, it seems a bit dodgy. He came back to a rousing reception. I remember Eric Cantona making us lose out on the title because he done a stupid kung fu kick. And the fans gave him a rousing reception when he came back and equalised against Liverpool at Old Trafford. You know? So the fans are kind of fickle here. It's all about performances. That's what I believe. So if these guys come and perform, go away, perform and come back, we can forgive them for their sins. That's what it takes.
None of those players, Ferdinand and Cantona, they didn't disrespect.
They were off the field issues. This is a playing issue. This is a playing issue. Cantona knocked the shit out of that job when he deserved it. You know what I mean?
Enough. I want to do the comments. Right. Sorry. Shopping Solutions is saying, I'm not watching the snake. Some Greenwood stuff. Andy Cole's been all over social media today. That guy was leagues above our current team, which is true. It's a shame that Mr. B doesn't have his photo to show us. Sancho liked Fabrizio's tweet earlier today, which we have to show you. And Rushmano, Sancho only comes back in the summer if ETH is sacked. Stop being sentimental about Sancho, OMONDI. Sancho, even if he likes it up in Germany, should not be allowed back to United. Højlund couldn't hit a barn door against Wigan, yet Joe Hugel was on the bench and got no minutes at the same age. And Joe Hugel today has signed a new contract, which is some other news.
Congratulations.
Sancho, 100% finished at United. We'd served better. He was 17 at City.
Still a cocky swat.
Mo Wada, who I haven't seen before, no thank you to Sancho. Get rid as soon as possible. Greenwood can come back.
You see?
This guy knows. This guy knows. That last comment, I don't like that last comment either.
Yeah. Well, you know, like Hannibal can look what you can do in the Spanish league if you play well. Ten Hag supported him last season, and he done this. And then, of course, Ferdinand 9-month ban. Gerrard missed a drug test. He got a fine, and Lampard a fine. I never knew that. But anyway, we got more things to get on to. One is I'm going to Seville in a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd just show you like what a lovely place it is. Check that out, boys. If Hannibal's going, I think I will. Yeah. All right. Our next story.
Fucking hell, Amrabat's fucking changed a lot. Jesus.
Well, Amrabat's
Shouldn't that be Andy? One trick pony. That should be for Andy, that. One trick pony.
When we see Amrabat run, Andy, we think he runs like a little Shetland pony. So for a couple of months,
And he's got hair. Jesus Christ.
that is a magnificent horse. What a beauty. But Amrabat won't be signed.
I'm sorry for swearing. Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Welcome, you're an idiot, welcome.
Everyone knows that I call that.
This is the first time I've seen you call Amrabat
The Shetland pony.
You got Amundo with his Eddie Murphy laugh as well. Oh my God.
Is anyone sad apart from me to see My Little Pony Amrabat not being signed permanently?
Yeah, I am sad it's not worked out for him, but could he turn it around? I mean, between now and the end of the season, could there be a rethink?
I mean,
if he plays blinders, I know the other players are coming back, but if he plays a part, I don't know.
I suppose he would have to be the midfielder that strikes up the best relationship with Kobe Mainoo, if there's a chance of keeping him, or if he wants to turn it around.
Played well, didn't it? It was Ericsson against Villa.
Mm-hmm. So, Mr. B, are we sad to see the pony leave?
I'm more surprised, but what I think it shows is that Ten Hag's player choices haven't been the best. I mean, he went through the whole summer for this guy. He didn't train. He sat on the side, kept his mouth shut. Got played at left back for how much weeks? Then went into centre midfield, and he hasn't really done what maybe we were expecting him to do. So I think that's another slight on Ten Hag, to be fair, because it was his choice. That's the person that he wanted. All right, he maybe didn't get his first, second, third, fourth choice, knowing how the club works, but it was still a Ten Hag choice, and it seems to be the wrong one because he's not playing.
True, and I mean, Scott McTominay too.
And to leave the Scott McTominay slander alone, like McTominay is a decent player. Like, and I don't want to get into an argument about it. Yeah.
All right, we'll save it then. We'll save it.
McTominay is a first team player at the moment, and even though Amrabat is Ten Hag's top choice, he can't get him out of the team. And one thing that I think is quite interesting about Amrabat is, if you remember during the sort of like that whole period where will we sign him, won't we sign him, stories came out from The Athletic that every scout at Manchester United was saying that Amrabat isn't good enough to play in the Premier League. And Ten Hag said, I know him. He is definitely good enough. And we haven't seen the pony for a very long time on a football pitch. And I think is he not running free at AFCON at the moment?
No. Apparently he's got a cold. He's a little horse.
That is your best ever. That is your best ever.
Oh God, that's his best ever, and it was still terrible. Oh wow!
Yeah, but you got to encourage him. Like, or he'll go and sulk for 9 months and be late, like Sancho. That's why he loves Sancho so much, because he's always late. Right, let's look at some comments. JR is saying that's the best visual description of Amrabat I've ever seen.
Oh, good.
Weeds Better says it looks more like Hannibal. Oh, you're right. Well, Hannibal's like, he's got dreadlocks now.
He's plait his hair. He's plait his hair.
Bart is saying that horse can't do worse than Amrabat in the midfield. And UK Strange is saying that's a proper pony. That I love the fact we got loads of sort of grown adult men talking about a pony. I think it's quality. Rushman is saying, I like Amrabat. Sure, there is the player there. And Andrew Williams is saying Amrabat is the right type of player we need, but there's not enough quality there. And Yale is saying Scotty's shoved Amrabat out of the team and then he's mistyped. And then for some reason he's put sadly. Don't know why. All right. Let's move on.
Can I just say, I think a lot of people in the comments, they visualizing Amrabat running, and he does resemble a Shetland pony tropping along. It is so true. You're spot on with that analysis there, bro. You talk about the eye test. This is the living eye test right there.
He just canters along, tiny little steps.
So true. Ruined him. You've absolutely ruined him.
Here's one. DK Wilson asking, in all seriousness though, do you think him not having pre-season has affected him?
Yeah, I mean, but it's how much it's affected him, and it's the other thing, right, Mr. B, is with you get all these obstacles in life, and your job is to overcome them. All right, and Amrabat gave himself these obstacles. I know you're thinking about jumping over with
his little legs.
Yeah.
He'd be chucking underneath.
But Amrabat, right, rather than going out and training with the rest of his herd, he wanted the United move, and he made himself not go to pre-season. And he's turned up at United. He's played games. He had the opportunity to get in as the left back and invert, which is something that Ten Hag will really want. He wasn't good enough, or he didn't take it. So even though missing a pre-season has affected him, he just hasn't done enough to get in. And the man knew that it wasn't a loan with an obligation. It was a loan, and he had to perform. He had to go out there, win best dressed, jump over everything, and he hasn't done it. So I have some sympathy for him, but he got an opportunity and he hasn't been able to take it, and that, to me, that's on you.
And Liverpool were in for him at the last minute last summer. Liverpool were sniffing around him before they got that German lad.
Yeah, they were probably hoping to make some glue, but. Anyway, this is our next story is that we must stop Dan Ashworth becoming the director of football at Manchester United. So Chris Wheeler is saying that next week, Manchester United will employ a director of football and a head of football recruitment. Ashworth and Mitchell, both known to Sir David Brailsford, fit the bill and seem to be the leading candidates at the moment. Andy, I absolutely hate Dan Ashworth because he turned me down as a 14-year-old at Peterborough United, and I don't want him.
Oh, that's a grudge.
I know, I don't want him anywhere near the football club. Imagine that. The enemy, the gatekeeper of your life, ends up at the football club. Oh. It's like, oh. But a director of football and a head of football recruitment, Andy. Is this exciting news to you?
I've heard this for so long, for the last few years, man. We've been running behind the scenes with bankers, so I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, Paul Mitchell, local boy, really done well at Southampton, really done well at Monaco. So, and he's got local. He knows the Manchester scene. So, and he's available. He's moved back here. He's got family up in Staley Bridge, which is about 25 minute drive from where I live. So, but Dan Ashworth, he has got a little bit of a good record. He's helped Newcastle turn this around at the moment. Their fortunes in the last 18 months is a little bit of credit to him. But I don't know about Ashworth yet. But yeah, definitely Paul Mitchell, definitely. And Jacques Cousteau, who's coming in, Mr. Laurent Blanc. I'm looking forward for him coming in as well and having some structure, because other clubs have the structure and they seem to be doing all right.
OMONDI.
not much to say. I'm not qualified to talk on this, really. I don't know much about his background, but Paul Mitchell, I've seen what he's done with Southampton, and he made some really good signings there. So he's at Monaco now, I believe, or he was at Monaco, and he's well touted, well sought after. And I think Mitchell seems to be the guy that's more attractive to me. But I trust the process. I trust the recruitment of these guys, especially under the new drive with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I think they will bring in the right people, and we will see an impact, a change. So maybe someone else can tell me about Dan Ashworth, whether he's worth the value to come into the club.
I mean, did Paul Mitchell at his time at Southampton, did he discover Gareth Bale? Because I think
he got Mane in. That was one bit of good signing, and there's a few others.
Was it Van Dijk as well?
I don't know if he got Van Dijk in, but definitely Mane from Austria. Around the time when Poch
was with him at the time, wasn't he? And Poch took Bale from Southampton to Tottenham. So I don't know if Mitchell discovered. I know he discovered a few, didn't he?
Did he do Mbappe?
I don't know.
You'd have to
he had Fabinho, Bernardo Silva, Mendy at Monaco. Like that Monaco team was absolutely incredible. Yeah, he was doing. But Mr. B, are you at all interested in mid-level managing positions at Manchester United?
I just want them to get it right.
Yeah.
Half-time. I to be honest, I don't care who they get in. You know, you hear about the names and you feel that just get the right people in so that everybody else can just do the job that they've been assigned to. I have no idea. I don't have a favorite. I don't have a preference. It's not like you can watch them playing football and know that they're good at this or good at that. Hopefully they're the best in class, and that's what we're asking for. I can't really say much more than that, to be fair.
Well, I've seen a good comment here, actually, because it's anti-Ashworth from We Deserve Better, but it says, and I'm not reading any of Andrew's comments about how Ashworth is the man. It's worrying Ashworth didn't do his homework on Tonali. Obviously, Tonali got suspended for gambling offences. But what?
As a player, his quality.
Yeah, but they're not looking into like his personal circumstances and situation and things. Someone's got something wrong to have signed Tonali, surely.
Well,
no,
I don't know if they would have known about
Paul
that.
Mitchell has also discovered at his time Dele Alli, Trippier, the Tottenham lad, Min-Sun. Did the Tottenham lad?
Yeah.
Christopher Nkunku.
Yeah.
And Toby Alderweireld, who was at Tottenham as well.
They've done really well. They were
all good players.
Very good. There's about 8-9 players there.
Let's move on from Dan Ashworth. Ineos, it's starting up soon. More sort of managerial, like more sort of mid-level managers. So I think that we can skip this. But now, the Sancho saga. So, look, there's no loan. There's no buy option. And we're only getting a 4 million package from Borussia Dortmund. And I did some calculations, gentlemen. I'm not sure if these are correct, but the total fee reported for Sancho was 73 million on a 5-year contract with an option to extend. He's paid 13 million a year, which is 65 million for the duration of his contract. And when you add his transfer fee and his contract together, it's cost the club 138 million, which comes to 27.6 million per season. And with 4 million covered from Borussia Dortmund, we will end up paying in financial fair play around 25 million for Sancho this season.
Jesus.
Isn't this awful?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, man.
Yeah.
So now, all right, I don't want to talk about numbers and things. I want to do something that will get us talking a little bit more. So I want you to rank in order who is responsible for the Sancho mess. And I've given you some names here. You can add more. But Sancho himself, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the man who signed him, Woodward, who authorised it, Ten Hag, or Murta, who negotiated the contract?
I would say you got 4 out of 5 suspects there, and Ten Hag is extracted because the mess was created by the 4 individuals who are still on that caption.
In order, then? What order would you
I would go with Murta, Woodward, Murta, Ole, and Sancho. Because there was at one point when we signed him, Man United were looking at Ole and his crew were looking at to play him in a different position. There's not a winger. I do remember that at the start of Ole's first season. They wanted to play him in maybe a fullback position or something. And that's out there on Google. If you can find it. They were considering to play him. He's not a winger. We want to play him somewhere else. So we never saw the true potential in the first season as Sancho. We saw glimpses, but that was it. And it's like you look at his lateness as well, because that was exposed last month. Emmanuel Vidic, not Emmanuel. It was exposed just before Christmas, wasn't it? Oh God, the Serb lad. Oh, who we had from Chelsea. Forgot what he's called.
Matic.
Oh, Matic.
Matic. He said that there was a lateness, and we set up a late club for fines. And Sancho was one of them, one of the late boys, him and Pogba, and he racked in nearly £75,000 in fines, and we're going to use it for the Christmas party. It never happened due to COVID. So yeah, Matic. So Sancho's got previous. If you heard about him at City as well, his attitude, his arrogance, and I want to say the number one suspect is Sancho himself. But Ten Hag bent over backwards to try and accommodate him. So he knew there was a player in there, and he tried everything. But Sancho still in his lazy ways, still being late, still, accept the criticism. And you may, and if you hadn't put your response to what you did, Anthony's troubles would have been your gain, and you would have been playing football. So 4 out of 5 for me, mate. That's it. Ten Hag bent over backwards for this lad, bent over backwards, and this is how he treats the United fans with contempt, because he's activated his Insta as well, like you say. He's like Fabrizio's tweet. He's got himself. He's smiling again now. Won't be long before he started. He'll post a social of himself back at Dortmund soon by tomorrow. He will.
Go on, Andy. Give me the order.
Well, I will go with Murta.
Number one.
Number 1, Murta. Number 2, Woodward. Number 3, Ole. And number 4, Sancho. And I'm not putting Ten Hag in that mix because he's not to blame for the fiasco that was befall him. You know what I mean? Okay. He inherited all this. You know what I mean? He came in and he analysed it, did the best he could, bent over backwards, tried to accommodate him, because there is a player in there. We know there is. But if you're bending over backwards for one person, you're getting nothing back, then you know what? I've tried everything. I'm going to try and publicly criticise you. Maybe not the best idea, but we all know managers who've publicly criticised players and they've got a response in the past. So, like I say, it is what it is. And like I say, Ten Hag done his bit, and he just couldn't get a tune out of him.
Okay, well, we're going to come to Mr. B, and then we're going to do the comments, but I want to do this comment first, because this one made me laugh. I'd laugh my head off if we have a bad February, Heath gets fired, then Heath goes to Dortmund.
JR, that's brilliant.
Oh, that's really good. What? You know what? That is the football world we live in. Yeah. You never fucking know.
Yeah. All right, Mr. B, I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me who's responsible for this Sancho disaster, in order, with a couple of reasons, please.
Well, Ten Hag's not in it, so we'll take that out. I'm blaming Sancho. At the end of the day, he's the one who can set his alarm early. He's the one who can get his pay his brethren 10 grand a week to be at his house for 7:30 to get him up to drop him. I don't think there's any excuse for being late. I'm blaming Sancho all day. He's the number one. He's the one who's kicking the ball. Woodward and Murta, you can't offer. I don't understand how when we do deals, we increase players' wages by, what was he on at Dortmund? 25 grand?
Probably.
Right. So we, 10 times? 10 times, what's he on? 250? 300?
300.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. Right. So I blamed, I don't know which one of those two idiots would have sorted out the wages part of it, Woodward or Murta. I don't even know. I don't even know what Murta did in the end. So yeah, I'm blaming them, and I'll put Ollie last. I'll put Ollie as number 4 because God bless him. He wouldn't have known what Sancho was going to be doing. He saw him at Dortmund and probably assumed he was getting something else. So yeah, Sancho, Woodward, Murta, Ollie.
All right, OMONDI. Just before we come to you, because I've got a feeling you might be quite controversial on this, I'm going to go to the comments and then they can all respond to you. We've got Stephanie Griffiths, who is pointing out Sancho got 12 goals in 82 appearances, which it's not great, is it, gents?
Better than Anthony.
Yep. All right. UK Strange. Sancho is to blame for being a little shit. Mowada is saying Big Ed Woodward is his number 1. Do you like that one, Andy?
I do, actually.
Steph is saying Woodward and Murta, definitely. We deserve better. Woodward all day long. Woodward. The man with 3 wooden heads. Ed Woodward.
Woodward.
Have you ever seen the film? OMONDI, what's that film with Christopher Lee where they burn a man alive?
On a Wicker Man.
Yeah, I think the name of the policeman in that
Woodward,
was
the equalizer. He was the copper,
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage did the read.
You lot are so funny.
It was a remake.
That's right.
You lot are the best.
Okay. All right. Bart is a serious fan, and he is saying that Woodward and Murta deserve a great degree of blame for giving De Bruyne wages. Signing Ahmad and Palestri before him for 50 million is strange. Ten Hag is almost blameless. Ollie should have done better. I think that's a really good comment, to be fair, from Bart. UK Strains is saying Sancho had to move in with Haaland when he was at Dortmund because he was playing FIFA all night and turning up late to training. Oh, ridiculous, isn't it?
You know what? I wonder how long before he starts being late at Dortmund. Between now and the end of the season, will he be late for training at Dortmund? Old habits never change.
Yep.
And look, We Deserve Better's got his order where he's got Woodward, Murta, Ollie, Ten Hag, and Sancho. Sancho last is a bit of a shocker for me. Like
Ten Hag ahead of Sancho. I'm going to assume he's blaming Ten Hag for outing him in the press conference because that could be the only.
Ten Hag did play him as a false 9 in pre-season, and we never saw any of that again. Like
we didn't,
but he played, was it against Arsenal, and he scored, and he looked all right in America, and he scored, and he was like, that was pretty all right. Then nothing.
I mean, like, in my opinion, I think Ten Hag's done all right with Sancho, and he made a stupid comment in a press conference where you don't talk about players who weren't playing when you lose. But Sancho overreacted, and I think we all saw Ten Hag sent him to the mountains. There's a lovely picture of them smiling at each other when he came back. He tried to find a position for Sancho, and obviously we don't know everything that's happening at the club, but Ten Hag, I don't think that he's a bad man at all. And I think he's done his best by Sancho, and Sancho's poor social skills has got us into trouble. But time for the main event, OMONDI. Give me the order. Give me the reasons.
Okay, so I don't think Ollie too much. I don't think Woodward, and I don't think Murta, and obviously not Ten Hag, because I think Ten Hag's done the right thing by him. He's really been kind to him. It's like the carrot and the stick. I'm going to give you the carrot. Go and take your time away, and rest up and sort out your issues. And then he beat him with a stick when he didn't fix up and came back, and that was the right thing to do. He showed them both, so I think that's good parenting. I think Sancho's to blame. I don't have any issues with the other guys, because when we signed Sancho, he was the hottest youngster in European football. the things he was doing at Dortmund was still unbelievable. I mean, it's still to this day to be surpassed. You're looking at Bellingham, what he's doing, the numbers he's putting up at Real Madrid, and what he did at Dortmund. That's special. But for a midfielder like Sancho, he was involved in so much in that team. I thought brilliant play, link-up play. He's like a duck to water, and you thought this guy's talented. It didn't matter about a bit of lateness or whatever. And so to sign him at the time, we can go back in time and look at it, but to sign him at that time, I don't think anyone would have complained, whether it's about the wages or whatever, because the year before, Dortmund tried to hold us to ransom by asking for like 120 million or something like that to take him, and to give us a deadline as well. And then we ended up getting him for 70. So I thought it was a good deal at the end of the day. One, because he's a hot youngster, he's English, he's talented, and I felt that, we're getting someone at the right age. And just think, he was coming to a side with Rashford, Greenwood, himself, and some other youngsters that we've seen through, like Garnacho and that coming through. It was exciting. It was a good signing. I got no complaints about the wage or the amount of money we spent on him, because we got a bit of discount a year later. Unfortunately, Sancho's to blame for all of this. You cannot blame the others, like I'm saying, because of the deal. It was a good signing at the time. Sancho had to fix up. It's an opportunity, stepping up to a big club, international appearances as well, and his future was all set ahead of him. All he had to do was just manage his punctuality and his attitude, have an attitude adjustment, and get a bit more professional. He failed to do that, and now he's been sent back on loan, a back step to the German league again. So I just think it all comes down to one man, that's Sancho, and I can't blame anyone else for that, because at the time it was a good deal.
I bet Sancho tears this up now, because I've been reading stuff online as well. I think Real Madrid are going to get the band back together, because if he tears this up, Real Madrid will come sniffing for Sancho. A year from now, they want Haaland, Man City, so they're going to get the band back together along with Mbappe. You're going to have Haaland, Sancho, and Bellingham back together at a different club, tearing it up along with Mbappe. Now, there's a thought for you. Yeah. If Jadon Sancho is this talent he says he is, and and he goes, Real Madrid come sniffing, mate, for cut price. I'm telling you, because they are sniffing for Mbappe and Haaland today. I've seen that online.
But do you guys think he's tarnished his reputation here badly? Is he really badly tarnished his reputation? Or do you think he's going to come out and give a statement to sort of make himself look good by revealing?
I think he's going to have to come out with a statement. Not putting stuff online for the statement. He's going to have to do if he wants a career, he's going to have to do the talking on the pitch.
Yeah, agreed.
I think maybe when he gets a permanent move away from the club, he will probably address it with what his issues were and things like that. But I think you make a very good point, Omondi, about how you look at what Bellingham is doing at Real Madrid, and that's what we were expecting from Sancho. It's just been horrible.
The difference is there. Bellingham stepped up from Dortmund, playing really well at Dortmund, great numbers and everything else, stepped up and been ultra professional, going to the biggest club in the world. There's a bracket, isn't there? There's bubbles for clubs.
Yeah, same with Haaland as well.
Bubble. And when
Haaland stepped up a level, didn't it? When he left as well.
Yeah. And now both of them, Haaland's got his dad on his back as a professional, managing him. We've got Bellingham, who's got a great structure there with his parents. They're really professional. I think his dad was an ex-policeman, maybe, but the way they brought him up really well. And then Sancho from Peckham, has got some roadman advising him, it seems, because he's just a complete mess.
Sancho's got a bit of the plonkers about him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bit of Nelson Mandela House about him, that's all I'm going to say.
You never re-offended, though.
Get that.
Here's our next story.
Sorry.
This is more of a fun story, I think. Onana is going to be benched for the African Cup of Nations. So it's unlikely that Onana will start against Guinea on Monday, with United keeper set to be on the bench on the Group C opener somewhere as backup for his distant cousin Ondoa of Nimes. Mr. B, what's going on? Good.
Yeah, I'm glad. He should have gone already. He shouldn't have even played the first game that we played. So I'm glad he's not playing. It serves him right. I hope he doesn't play at all.
Terrified. He should have gone. He shouldn't have played Monday. He should have gone. All the other respectable players have gone. Mane, Amrabat's gone. because you don't like some competition. Be professional about it. Prove yourself. Win the AFCON with Cameroon. Come back to show the player you are. Not absolutely shit yourself to want to play one more game. Then you're flying out. Then you're going to be knackered and jet lagged when you could have given another talented keeper a chance. And I worry for that. I think that was a wrong move for that Turkish lad. It's not fair on the lad. This is another talent that's been led on and wasted, like Amrabat this season. So I won't be surprised if that keeper leaves in next summer as well.
We've had a request. Can anyone pronounce the name of the Ivory Coast capital, which I skipped over in that? Omondi, you're a resident linguist.
Good one. What a stitch up. I've got no idea. No idea what it is. It's probably French in some way, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But Omondi, I think that Andy's right. We've seen Salah and Amrabat all go off. And do you think that Onana will be telling Ten Hag right now that, like, as a boy growing up in Cameroon, he had a dream, and that dream was to play against Newport in the FA Cup?
Is that who we got? Wow, what an easy draw. Look, I think there's a bit of a friction between him and Cameroon Footballers Federation. I think it's Ridebert Song was the manager, wasn't he? And they fell out, and that's why he retired from international football, or retired from playing with them, because Ridebert Song didn't want him to play his style of football, bringing the ball out. He wanted to be a bit more disciplined than that. And I think Song must, obviously, clearly he's not manager anymore because they've invited him back. So they're just peace talks, lastminute.com, really unprofessional, like they get in the African nations. And he's going back to Ivory Coast to try and do something special. Now, if he goes there and wins the tournament for Cameroon, I don't know much about their team at the moment, who they've got. If he goes there and wins the tournament, he's going to look good for us, isn't it? Because he did win Ballon d'Or. He was in the Ballon d'Or rankings last season for his performances in the Champions League. Go on, Andy.
Ivory Coast has two capital cities. Two capitals. Yamoussoukro, and that was in 1983, and Abidjan has officially been designated as the economical capital of the country. So it has two capital cities. Now that's one for the Saturday night quizmasters in the pub. So
I'm not sure that
two
counts as a
capital
capital
cities.
city. A capital city, by definition, is where the parliament is.
It has two capital cities. I've just Googled it and I cheated.
All right. Fair enough.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens, isn't it? I remember I've just...
Is that the Welsh capital down there on the screen now? That's the Welsh capital, isn't it?
My God.
Oh, blimey.
Big up all the guys going to the African nations, especially Onana. And hopefully we get to see what our backup keeper is going to be doing.
Is it on the TV? Is it on BBC? Or
yeah, BBC. I think they're showing it on iPlayer, aren't they?
We'll have to check that out.
I was watching. There was a thing popped up today of the first team, the Cameroon team in 1990, the team sheet of 1990 that played against Argentina in the first
Roger Miller
match. Yeah, Roger Miller didn't play in that game. But it was like Owen Biek and Thomas Nkunu was their goalkeeper. I remember him. He came in the scene. But they won 1-0, didn't they? But they
I remember that. Yeah,
kicked Kanija out off the pitch and booted everyone around.
England beating 3-2 in a quarter-final.
Yeah. And that was the first time an African nation had got that far. Since then, Morocco obviously got to the semi-finals. But yeah, one day we might see an African nation win in the World Cup. But I think that's a long way off. I think Pelé mentioned it after 1990. He said before the end of the century, an African nation will win the World Cup. And he was wrong.
I mean, France hoover up their best players, though, don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, let's have a look at the comments before we get to our final story. Look, this is a common sentiment that I think is shared by everyone. Is Onana scared to lose his place to Bayinda? And that's why he just won't piss off? Yeah?
Take the hint, lad. You got competition.
Mr. B, like, I know you got chicken on the go, but do you agree with this?
Yes, 100%.
All right, don't worry, we're finishing soon. We deserve better. I don't want any of my players going to internationals, England or whatever. I'm a United fan, full stop. I hate international football. A very sort of Alex Ferguson approach to international football, that. Rashmanu Binder looks very good in the warm-ups at Old Trafford. He needs a chance. Does he look good in the warm-ups from what you see, Andy?
He looks okay. I've not seen him as much, but he looks okay. Mate, that game now, 4th round, against either Newport or Eastleigh. So, yeah, he might get a chance in that. Whether United fans get any tickets for that, I was talking that with my dad yesterday. Eastleigh's ground only holds 5,000, same as Newport.
Wow.
But it is close to Southampton. You could move the game to St. Mary's and get 30,000.
No, I won. Do you remember? I don't remember it, but I've seen like on the TV before that England before major tournaments always used to play at like a low league ground, and there'd be like 6,000 or 7,000 people in there watching them. I think it's fantastic that United are going to a cow shed somewhere outside of Southampton. That's real football. That's what the FA Cup's about.
We got Luton Town at the moment in the Premiership. I don't know how they. I remember when
the cow shed. It's a bit out of that, isn't it?
It'll be a pony shed as Hammerback goes.
You can see somebody having a bath when you're walking up to the away. You know what I mean?
Yedding.
You know what? Seeing someone's underpants on a washing line or other garments. You know what I mean? Imagine ripping that off and throwing it on the pitch.
In 2005, Yedding got to a home draw against Newcastle. A big up to the local lads around here, Leon Woodruff, Davis, and all these guys who played in that game. And Yedding couldn't hold more than 500, so they went to Loftus Road and did it there. So yeah, I can see why they might transfer it. Just because this is a massive for Eastleigh or the other club that you mentioned. I can't remember. It was massive.
Newport.
They'll be making so much money.
It secures their future. I've done it this game.
Sure,
it secures their future.
Yeah, I know that it makes sense to go and play it at the Dale or wherever Southampton play, but I want us to be in a terrible away ground with
is
tennising.
famous for the Spitfire because that's where the Spitfires were launched in the Battle of Britain. I was talking to my dad yesterday about it. Eastleigh has the Spitfire or the Hurricane on its badge.
I'm not very good. Well, I'm usually good at geography, but I had no idea Eastleigh was down by the coast near Southampton.
Never did I till Monday night.
All right, we're going to skip over our final story because we're coming to the end of the show.
Sorry,
Marshall ain't moving, boys.
One more. We're talking about African nations and all that kind of thing. There was a topic discussion on the radio the other day saying that Yaya Toure is the best African footballer, just as a footballer, regardless of length of time he did it, as a footballer that's played in the Premier League.
Not for me.
Failed.
Samuel Eto'o.
That played in the Premier League.
Played for Chelsea.
Okay. Well, George Ware? I thought I can go with Yaya. I thought Yaya, when you look at what he did in that season, he was fantastic. So maybe I would go with Yaya on that one. But yeah, it's just a discussion.
Maybe Kolo Toure was the more disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kolo, yeah, Kolo. Yeah, I know the song.
It's a great song. Look, we've got 34 people watching. If you all give us a like, Andy will do any terrace chant that you like. So just drop the lights in. We'll have a little sing along. Who's Andy? Who stands out for you, as African players in the Premier League? You've obviously got Salah, you've got Toure, Drogba.
Yeah, Drogba. He was what was the Chelsea lad? Oh God, what was it?
Essien?
Yeah, that was the guy. Essien.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Essien, absolutely fantastic. United should have go. He was linked with United, and United never went for him. So yeah, there's many fantastic players who've turned over the years. And the recent one was Mane at Liverpool, and he's proved his worth by keeping his promise and marrying his 18-year-old wife to be. You know what I mean?
Long-term girlfriend.
Long-term girlfriend. The thing that
boys.
on Monday, whether
She's not 26, bath time.
She's 18.
She's 18, and he knew her for when she was 16. So,
but the age of consent, I think, in Senegal is 16 years old.
Can we just bypass this whole topic, please?
Yeah,
yeah. Can we?
Brought it up.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm sure. Right, I'm sure it wasn't me. Well, all right.
Right, Mr. B. African footballers in the Premier League. Which one would you love to see at United the most?
JJ Okocha.
Oh,
yeah, Bolton.
That's a great one, actually.
Yeah,
he was a killer, man. I like players who have got skills. JJ Okocha, without a doubt.
Yeah,
he was actually an enjoyment to watch when he played for Bolton. He really had skill.
Yeah, well, that Bolton team was absolutely mental. It was like the Galacticos each year. Like Sam Allardyce would get some crazy player in from Real Madrid.
Turkish lad as well, didn't you? There was a Turkish lad in there as well. Oh, they got into Europe as well, didn't they? They played Atletico Madrid. So, yeah, he had a bit of a steal about him, Sam Allardyce.
Yeah.
Even Anelka played for him at the same time.
Oh, yeah,
as well. Nicholas Anelka.
Yeah, I wish the Premier League had more teams like that, like the fun teams. Everyone's playing the same football now with system players.
Yeah, we had Bolton, we had Stoke, didn't we? We had Stoke, Wigan. And
they mix it up.
Just boring football now.
Yeah.
I remember there's a famous clip of a goalkeeper playing against Stoke, and rather than conceding a throw-in, he concedes a corner. Because that Rory Delap was just too much.
Oh, the Delapinator. Oh, yeah, way through it, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I wish we had someone at United who could take a long throw. I'd like
use
to
it. They wouldn't
Sorry?
use it. Nobody wouldn't use it. Nobody in our team can header. What's the point?
Yeah, a lot of people moaned how it's not fair he was playing the ball like and throwing it like that. That's football, love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be great. Look. We've got 28 people watching, and this is our last story, and it's a boring one, I'm afraid. Martial ain't moving. He's sticking till the end of the year. He's rejected approaches from Marseille, Fenerbahce, and the Saudi Pro League to remain at Manchester United until the summer. United say they've not been approached by any clubs regarding a move for Martial. I mean, Andy, well, what do you think?
He will not play again this season. He will not play again because the abuse he suffered. Like you say, mate, the games he played, was it Newcastle in the League Cup, Bournemouth, he was like a spy balloon. All he did was float and look. That was it, and observe. No bloody running. So he's just hanging tight for getting his money and a payday. I understand that from a financial point of view. You want to secure your future for your family, but he won't play again this season, mate. Well, when we needed him for the FA Cup final, he wasn't available. He tweaked his hamstring in the last game of the season against Fulham. So I'm not interested in Martial, man. Like I say, you are what you are, mate. It's like a wasted talent who could have been so much better. Look at his attitude. Look, he went to Sevilla. He didn't even turn it on there. So wait, and he come back with his tail between his legs. So even Sevilla fans were disappointed with him and the press. Didn't like it. So he's not going to play again this season. I'll be amazed if he does.
So on Monday, would you like to talk on Martial, or do you want to hear from the comments about African players they like?
Both. Quickly on Martial, yeah, I agree with Andy. I think it's really disappointing. I think for him not to want to sort of push himself to be better, I think he's made it. He's got such a good wage and such a good lifestyle in Manchester with the wages and the lifestyle with the white women and the girlfriends or whatever he's got there, the cars. Why does he need to go? He's getting a pay package. And it's really detrimental. I mean, who's going to take him on a free now? And Mourinho was right about players that leave Man United. Where are they now? And I think it's going to be the case with Martial. Where are you?
Same with Pogba as well. Yeah, where are you now?
Mm-hmm. Mr. B?
He can go. I don't care. He should have gone. I'm sick. I'm totally sick of these players. Honestly, I'm totally sick of these players. Well done. You played for us. You played 9 years. What did he want? A testimonial? Him fuck off, man.
Oh,
250.
man. Oh,
200,
if United, that's a
man.
deal. Oh,
Listen,
man.
let him go, man.
Murder.
I mean, the thing is, even if he scores 50 goals between now and the end of the season, why is he doing it? To up his money for his next move?
What,
No, let him go.
FIFA?
Yeah, it would have to be on 50. It'd have to be FIFA because you know he ain't scoring nothing for us. Let him go, man. And the thing is, why hasn't he been playing for the last? Who's sick for 2 months? Just out of curiosity, what illness do you have out for so long?
I think it was the abuse he got after that ball.
What abuse?
The abuse he got when he got off the pitch, the booze, the way.
Oh no, he's fragile. Is that what it is?
I'm not buying that. When Highland was when he was brought off and Highland come on, we were 2-0 down after 56 minutes. I was in the ground. The abuse he got was unreal. Even I say, I'll give it.
Was it? I was going to right. You gave it to him because he deserved it because he's been like a tosser.
The booing, the criticism, get off, the applauding, sarcastic. It was done. Just enough is enough. And we've not seen him since. And if that's you've hurt my feelings, and I'm on 250k away.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Don't make me sick.
Nobody's sick for 2 months, mate. Unless you seriously got a case of the heebie-jeebies. You're scared. You're scared to play.
You reckon he's one of them players that was scared of the moon or whatever when Ragnick was here?
Flat earther.
All right, let's wrap up with some comments. Yeah,
and I just got 2 quick quiz questions at the end as well.
All right. Oh, good. I like a quiz.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, we've all got a meow instead of buzzing in. It's very important. All right. So we deserve better, saying that United did go in for Essien and John Obi Miguel. Chelsea won the race on both. I'm not sure.
Well, technically, we did sign John Obi Miguel, and he then a couple of hours later he cried, "I want to go to Chelsea," and the tribunals decided he did. So
Was he Norwegian, Obi Mikel, or did we sign him from Norway?
Right.
Sign him from Norway. We were trying to sign him from a Norwegian team.
Saskia Guna is saying Drogba, Eto'o, Weah. I am Sammy Eto'o is one of my footballing heroes.
Yeah, but he never played in the Premier League, did he?
He did. He played for Chelsea. He did the old man celebration after he scored once.
I must have missed that one. Jesus.
Was there with Mourinho? Do you not remember him like pretending to like have a cane after he scored a goal?
I'm being honest, no.
Okay,
I must ask me back.
Saskia is saying Alphonso Davies is one of his favourite footballers, even though he's Canadian. Apparently, he was born in Ghana. Drogba, never a big game where he didn't score.
Sorry, he's Haitian. I'm sure he's
Haitian.
Who?
The left back, Alfonso.
He's Canadian.
He's from
Alphonso Davies.
He's Haitian. He's from Haiti.
Oh. And Andrew's made this point several times, and I think he's correct, that Mane's girlfriend or fiance is actually 26, and it was misreported in the Daily Mail.
Okay.
Fucking hell, that's a hell of a misquote that from the newspaper. Jesus Christ.
Do you remember that newspaper that used Stormzy instead of Lukaku?
Yes.
Yeah.
What, he thought Stormzy was Lukaku?
Yeah, the picture, yeah.
Oh my days.
Subvids wants Aladici in to replace Eric Ten Hag.
Aladici.
We Deserve Better is saying George Ware, and he's also saying Kanu, which was, I think that's a good shout as one of the great African players.
Adebayor as well.
Oh God,
Complete nutter.
Yeah, 250k for Sancho, robbing the club blind. And then,
I thought he said robbing the blind.
My eyes are going to do that.
My eyes are going.
Here's a good one. Roger Miller played in 3 World Cups, which is very impressive.
1982, 1990, and 1994.
And here you go, Monday. I can't believe we've forgotten this guy, Tony Yeboah.
Wow.
Oh, he's
He's
yeah.
gone in.
the volley against Liverpool and the one at Wimbledon. Bloody hell.
That man, I'm sure that man sold his soul to be the best footballer in the world for 2 weeks or whatever. it was unbelievable.
Yeah, all Leeds fans chanting his name. You boy. Yeah, remember it?
Oh, he's great. And then We Deserve Better is just shouting about Phil Jones. I love Phil Jones. So I don't know if he's the best African footballer ever. And have we got anything else here before? No, we don't have anything here. It's time for OMONDI's quiz question.
Okay. Yeah. Should we just do it for the panel, or first one to shout out? What's going to be your buzzer, Andy?
Ding ding.
Okay. I don't want to say. All right, Mr. B, what's your buzzer?
I'm not going to get a question right. I'm just going to sit here and silent. I'm not going to. All right, I'll just. Yeah, I'll say. Yeah, woof woof. Yeah, go woof woof.
And half time.
I'll go for ring a ding ding.
You've got ding ding, ring a ding ding, and woof woof. All right,
Okay, I'll go for meow. I'll do meow.
Meow. Okay. In the comments, just give them a minute. If you know the answer, don't type it in because we don't want any cheating here. Who was the first African-born player to play in the Premiership for Manchester United?
Ding ding.
Yep.
Oh God, I
Meow.
could picture him. Oh no!
5, 4,
Africa,
3,
African lad, South
2,
Africa.
1.
Yep.
Oh shit! I know who it is now.
It's
Oh,
the
bloody hell.
goalkeeper.
Next.
Yeah, woof woof. Yeah,
Gary
God.
someone. Bristol.
No.
Okay.
it wasn't the goalie.
No.
Gary.
No.
Wait,
Oh.
Australia.
You're talking about Gary Bailey.
Premier League.
Yeah, Gary Bailey.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Premiership.
Oh,
South African lad.
Yes. South African.
Fortune.
I've seen it in the comments.
Yes. All right. Well
Fortune.
done. Well done. That's
I wasn't,
spoiled.
I
All
wasn't
right.
getting that.
This one. Who was the first African-born player to ever play in the Premier League? He actually played his first game in 1992.
Meow. Adebele Pelly.
No. Premier League.
Woof woof. Radaby.
No.
Oh, bugger.
Lucas Radebe. Oh.
1992.
He played for Leeds.
No. Played for Coventry.
Ding ding, ding ding.
Ding ding.
Peter Unlove.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Hey!
Oh,
Peter
Well done.
Unlove.
Well done. That's it.
Oh, remember that? Because he was. I'm be fair to him. He scored. He had a purple patch in the mid-90s for Coventry City. Him and Mickey Quinn. Oh yes.
Yeah. Good player. Okay.
Is that it, Amondo?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Just 2 questions.
Take that. That's fine.
Peter
Good.
Unlove.
We got quite a lot of people who got it right in the comments, and I think that Andy Williams got Quinton Fortune first.
Well done.
Was it Quentin? I can't remember his first bloody name.
But by the way, good shout with Gary Bailey. I know he's white South African, isn't he? Player. And we had Bruce Grobler was also a white South African. But I think, was Gary Bailey from Zimbabwe? Or was he from
No.
Bruce Grobler was in
He was
Yeah.
from South Africa.
Like Charlize Theron.
It's funny, like Charlie Theron.
Charlize Theron.
She lives in America, and she's supposed to be African American, as well. But
Who did you say?
Charlize Theron, the
Who
blonde
is she?
girl.
Charlize.
Yeah. She's in Prometheus. She's in Mad Max.
the boxing one,
No.
the $1 Million Babe, is it?
$1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Babe. boxing
Charlize. How are you spelling this name? I don't know who the hell you're talking about.
Anyway,
Charlize Theron. She's a very famous actress.
How do
Mr.
you
B.
spell her name?
well,
Type in
the joke is she's in America. She's classed as
Right.
African American. But she doesn't
Charlize
class
Theron. Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's always good
Oh,
when
is that
someone has to
her name?
Google your jokes.
Charlize Theron. I have no idea what this woman's in.
There you
Mr.
go.
Beast cheating like I did with the Capitals.
I have to have a look. I have no idea who she is. She don't play at Old Trafford, so I don't know who she is.
She fit. She fit. So we got it on authority. She fit.
Yeah, Bilal. He decides. All right. Less about who's attractive, more about thanking people for being here. Mr. B, Andy, OMONDI, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, BATHTIME.
Thank you,
to
BATHTIME.
everyone in chat. Tomorrow,
thanks for having me on. I enjoyed tonight.
Yeah, anytime. Like I'll always have pictures of a little pony for you. Andy. Do you want to see him again?
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember a mobile phone? Do you remember the mobile phone commercial with a little pony dancing to Fleetwood Mac? That's what.
Oh wow!
You hear me calling out your name. The pony's doing like little dancing, and I think it was for EE or T-Mobile.
Oh god!
Oh, it's so beautiful. All right,
it's got a perm. It's not fucking actual hair. It looks like a perm.
That's the best looking horse I could find. It's just beautiful. Right, 9 o'clock tomorrow. Rebel and Stefan, I think, from the United Philosophy will be on talking about transfers and all that kind of stuff. Friday, we have a preview, and Sunday is the Spurs watch along, I think.
Good grief, we are going to get smacked up. Am I going to do that to myself? No. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
All I'm going to say about Sunday is that he's our last chance saloon to get into the Champions League saloon. That is our last chance.
You think if we win that, we've got a chance to get into the Champions League?
Well, you're only 6 points off Arsenal, and Arsenal are having a bit of a wobble. I think that is, I even talked it with my dad, that is our last chance to put some pressure on the top four. Because City play Newcastle that weekend. Then the following weekend, it's the 5-game break, innit? 5 teams play this weekend. The other 5 play the following weekend.
Yeah.
So
Spurs are without players with Afghan. Sar.
Yeah, but they've lost Sar and
Son.
And Son.
Son as well.
Yeah. They've got that. They've got the defender in, though, haven't they? They've got the defender in.
Romanian dudes.
Anyway, look, we'll talk about that on Friday.
Yeah. All right. So if you're new, press the subscribe button. If you like the show, press like. If you didn't like it, press dislike. We don't have an outro at the moment, so if everyone can wave, I'll just end the stream. Wave. Andy, wave.